Hey, what's going on, guys? Owen Straley, Steelers Depot here, back today, and we're going to be taking a look at some of the Steelers' key coverage concepts on key downs. So, third and long, key situations in the game when they really need to get a stop. We're just going to look into what do they like to go with in those situations when they need to get off the field, and it's a key down. How do they want to unlock the pass rush? How do they want to make quarterbacks hold onto the ball? And how do they want to confuse quarterbacks? And just what is the identity of this Mike Tomlin, Keith Butler defense? And today we're going to take a look at that with three brief plays. So first play we're going to take a look at here, early in the Rams game, Week 10, 3rd and 8, so third and long, and the Steelers go with their favorite third and long coverage concept, which is cover one with a robber coming down. Occasionally they'll send a blitzer instead of having the robber safety come down, but they always have a safety over the top. That's usually going to be Minka, and then Terrell Edmunds rotating down into a robber look, taking away basically your first read over the middle. And then all the cornerbacks playing man coverage with outside leverage, as is usually the case with cover one. And just looking through it, Steven Nelson, great job all over the comeback from Robert Woods. Cam Sutton does a really good job in the slot against Gerald Everett. Good job. Plays with outside leverage, knowing that he has Minka deep over the middle and Terrell Edmunds shallow over the middle. So does a good job with the soft shoe press, allows Everett to get inside of him before shuffling his feet, getting hands on him with outside leverage. So once you got hands on, you can then go to your eye keys, look back at the quarterback, see the ball coming, and attack it. And if that's a better throw, it's going to be intercepted. So going to Mike Hilton, he has Cooper Kupp in the slot here. He does a good job of getting a nice reroute on him, allows Cooper Kupp to get into him before getting a nice reroute within 5 yards, playing with outside leverage and funneling him into Terrell Edmunds, who is able to act as an effective double team here. Because, I mean, out of Gerald Everett on Cam Sutton or Cooper Kupp on Mike Hilton, you're going to provide more help to Cooper Kupp here, especially when you look into this type of season Cooper Kupp had. Finally, up top, we take a look at Joe Hayden. Does a good job. He does this a lot where he just kind of opens and runs with people and gets a little bit of separation on it, but that's a tough throw for a quarterback to make. And you got to understand, it's the way he's playing. He's trying to get underneath it, knowing that something could be coming back, because just a general rule, 3rd and 8, 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, whatever, 3rd and whatever, you got to play the sticks. So he's doing a good job of playing the sticks here, and I think you see it with Steven Nelson at the bottom, where does a good job of rerouting, but then allowing himself to get into trail techniques so that he can be there on a guy's back hip and jump something like that. A little bit better of a job by Nelson staying in his hip pocket, whereas Hayden kind of allows the guy to get past him, which can be a little risky. But overall, I respect what he's doing in terms of being a headsy player and playing for the sticks and understanding that even if there is a deep route here, it's most likely a route if they're expecting zone coverage to manipulate something and maybe get a shallow route on the same side open. So very rarely are you going to see a straight go ball thrown on 3rd and 8, but you would like to see Hayden, knowing that he doesn't have any help over the top, to the outside. He does have help to the inside. You'd like to see him play this from the outside so that he'll never let a guy get on top of him there. But overall, this is how the Steelers cover one concept works. They call it on a good amount of third and longs, and I would say it's probably their favorite third down pass call. Allows them to take away the shallow middle and force contested looks with just good man coverage across the board. They have good man coverage personnel, and it allows the pass rush to flourish. So here, key situation, 3rd and 7 in the fourth quarter of a Week 12 game against the Bengals. One possession game at this point. Steelers up by 3. And we're going to see another formation of 4-man rush mixed with man coverage. And you'll notice that the main variance in these different concepts is just the safety movement and safety assignment. Generally, the Steelers have become a heavy man coverage team in key situations and like to play to it, as they should. You know, as I've reviewed in the past, Mike Hilton, Cam Sutton, Steven Nelson, Joe Hayden, you have 4 guys that can really lock up a lot of guys in this league. So play to your strength, especially with a good pass rush. Man coverage makes guys hold on to the ball longer and make tight window throws. So I like that's the direction they're going. And as to the specifics of it, we're going to look into it. So Joe Hayden first at the top of the screen. He ends up making the breakup here on what could have been a pick. And he's able to play this way. He plays at the sticks and eventually undercuts it at the sticks. Really good job by Hayden of it's called sliding into the frame late. You don't want to show the quarterback too early your hand, or else he's just going to look elsewhere. So didn't end up coming away with the pick, but I like the bait and anticipation here. He's able to do it because Minka Fitzpatrick is playing over the top to his side, and that's because he's covering Tyler Boyd, who, if you know anything about football, I mean, Tyler Boyd is, without A.J. Green on the field, he's by far Cincinnati's best weapon, and he made work of Joe Hayden earlier in this game on a touchdown. So you don't want to leave him singled up here, and especially with Hayden, you know, doesn't have the same speed that he did when he's younger. Still a great corner, but you want to give him some help over the top, and Steelers do that here with Minka, allowing Hayden to play to his strengths of anticipation and recognition. Mike Hilton, also in man coverage here, just gets a little stop route to the outside, also called pivot route, whip, whatever you want to call it. He's just patient, plays it inside out, and knows that he's just going to be able to tackle that short of the sticks. So not too much urgency from him here, but does his job. And the interesting part is when you look at the top of the screen. So you got a double team on Tyler Eifert here coming out of the slot because obviously you don't want Mark Barron in pure man coverage on him alone. So the Steelers go with an in-out concept where Mark Barron is taking the inside and rerouting him to the outside, playing it inside out with Terrell Edmunds giving him help to the outside. And you'll see Edmunds doesn't drop deep in the same way that Minka does here. He's playing shallow, but it's more of a, as opposed to the last play was a cover one hole where he's coming into a robber technique. Here, he's just playing in-out with Mark Barron and bracketing what is likely to be their number one target here, if not Tyler Boyd. So what ends up happening is you effectively get double teams on Cincinnati's two best players, and it works perfection. As for the other two, you got Cam Sutton covering the slot here against Erickson, and pretty good job. I mean, not too much of a threat here. I don't love him opening up on a zone turn there. I definitely would prefer a man turn, just in case Erickson dashes on like an in and out post or something here. Opening up and turning away from him without eyes on him can be risky, but in that case where he just ends up running a slot fade, it ends up being a good coverage of it. And then just a short hitch. Love Steven Nelson's tempo up top. The receiver's not going to threaten you, especially when it's Joe Mixon, a running back. Just sit. And does a really good job of just sitting, not even really charging him, because knowing that if he's going to make that throw, you can either jump it or make the tackle. And with a young quarterback, why not go for the bait? So I like that patience and awareness from all the corners here, but Steven Nelson and Joe Hayden especially. And it's actually Giovanni Bernard at the top of the screen. So correction there. But just another very varied coverage of the Steelers' man-free concept, and works to perfection here. And so last example we're going to be taking a look at today is from Week 12 against the Browns. First play of the Browns drive at the end of the game with a chance to tie it down 7. And as I've been outlining, Steelers are generally going to play man coverage in these situations, but when they do go zone, and I think it's been a big improvement under Butler and Tomlin over the past couple of years, just more disguise in their zones, more safety movement, more pre- and post-snap motions to confuse the quarterback, give him different looks, especially with a younger guy like Mayfield. So we'll get into it here, and we're going to see the Steelers run what effectively becomes a 3-deep shell. You could either call it cover 3 cloud or some version of an inverted Tampa 2. Either way, results the same. You end up getting a 3-deep shell with 4 men under and 4 rushers. And just going into everyone's techniques here, I think it's big, and what really unlocks the ability to play a coverage like this is having a player like Cam Sutton, who is not only athletic enough as a dime defender to get to the deep post, but as Tomlin outlined when they drafted him, very high IQ guy, smart guy, and a guy that you can trust in a situation like that, understanding that he can get beat deep, and trusting him just to motion late and create confusion here. So going into everybody, you're going to see Cam Sutton does a really good job of holding his bail until right at the snap. So Baker has no clue what he's going to do. He looks like an underneath defender. Right before the snap, he adjusts and ends up taking away deep third. And then, which allows Minka, who also does a great job here, of roaming deep in his 2-deep shell before immediately inserting down aggressively and ending up with a pass breakup on what could have been a pick if he had gotten his head up earlier. But really good job, just this disguise and the changing parts between Minka and Cam Sutton creates confusion and creates big plays here. And then just going into the rest of it, up at the top of the screen, you got Joe Hayden just bailing, getting deep to his deep third. And then Edmonds on the other side, just over the top, and his appears to be cover two before the play, ends up just dropping back. And to his side, it does look like cover two because you have cover three cloud concept on that side with Steven Nelson squatting in the flat and then Terrell Edmonds coming over to the top. To the other side of the field, because Minkah rolled down and Joe Hayden bailed over the top, you then have Mike Hilton buzzing out to the flat on that side. And then finally, Mark Barron occupying the hook curl zone to the other side, with Minkah occupying the hook curl to the left of the formation. And just overall, ends up becoming a cover three shell, similar to what they would have run a couple of years ago. But it's the movement and the disguise of pieces which are going to confuse a quarterback and going to create confusion here, which eventually happens. And if Minkah gets there a hair earlier, this could have been a pick. So really good job by the Steelers of, when they want to go zone, creating unique and exotic looks to frustrate the quarterback and allow the pass rush to just go to work and get after him. As we know, leading the league in sacks the past 3 years, this is the best pass rush in football, and it's in everyone's best interest to let them go to work. So just again, today, taking a look at Steelers' big coverages and big situations. What do they like to do? What's their MO going into next season? And just what can you expect on key downs from Butler and Tomlin? And so just 3 plays today, and that's going to be all.